Welcome back to the Grizzlies Dynasty, as today we have some exciting news to start the episode. A new offensive coordinator, D. Hunter. He's a subscriber to the channel known as D the Toy Hunter on YouTube, and he's from the Western Kentucky area, so that's his alma mater. And D, if you stick around till the end of the video, you can have the options to customize your coach a little further, but we'll follow your career as the series continues and if you leave Montana State, and we'll see if you can make a difference to this offense that is ranked near the bottom of the nation as we take on Wyoming, a team that's slightly better offensively but struggles against the run game. They've played a team that we just bested in San Diego State, as both our squads came away with tight wins, so this may be a good matchup on paper. And looking at our roster, they're not too dissimilar, as our top few players have comparable overalls, but Wyoming has many more upper 70s rated players, with quarterback Brett Smith leading the charge. They will be without their starting running back Brandon Miller, as the sophomore Wick steps in to take on the lead back role, and his ratings are much worse than Miller's, which may leave an opening for us to shut down this run game with an already strong rush defense that we have. And speaking of defense, I noticed a hole in their offensive line at right guard that we may look to exploit defensively. And lastly, I want to have all of you guys involved in the series as much as possible. You guys are as much as part of this channel as I am, so like, subscribe, leave a comment. We're still searching for a defensive coordinator, but with that, let's finally get this game underway as the opening kickoff is taken out of the end zone by Claiborne. And here's Brett Smith making his way out to the field. His stats from last game, not very efficient, but he did account for 3 touchdowns on the game, as we also take a look at these two defenses that haven't been exceptional, but let's see how they play today. As the Wyoming Cowboys come out to begin this first drive of the game, Wick is in the backfield to the right of Smith, as he drops back to pass and he throws out to the right side. He has a man Norman on the sideline, and he picks up 6, tackled by Jarvis Murray, and it looks like the Cowboys are going to go hurry up, as we have a 2nd and 4 now. Smith back to pass once again, throws it over to the middle to Ruffin, and he has a reception. A big gain by the Cowboys, 17 yards, as they stay in the hurry up. Ball at about the 45 now, as it looks like they send pressure on the left side. Wick takes the handoff, and he's tackled for no gain by Jarvis Murray, and he has 3 tackles on the game already. Tackle on every single play. And it's 2nd and 10. Smith with the option, and he cuts up midfield, and he has a first down and a couple more, as that's 12 yards on the option keeper by Brett Smith. Still in the hurry up is Wyoming. Smith play action, throws out to the left to Claiborne, and he has another first down, tackled again by Jarvis Murray. 12 yards on the reception by Jalen Claiborne. That's a new set of downs for the Cowboys, as Wick takes the delayed handoff, and he's going nowhere. Dropped in the backfield by Rudy Norwood. His first tackle of the loss on the game. And now bring up a 2nd and 12 after the 2-yard loss on the play. And Wick takes another delay handoff, and he gets out wide. He's a shifty little guy, and he gets 15 yards. And looks like he's a little bit slow to get up. We hope it's not a serious injury, as the Cowboys now have 1st and 10 inside the red zone of the Grizzlies. Smith takes a snap and throws it out left to Ruffin, and he is going nowhere. Looks like Rudy Norwood is in coverage that time, and he drops Ruffin after a 2-yard gain. Cowboys with the hurry up, as Smith has the option once again. He's out to the right. He has blockers, and he's in for a touchdown. Brett Smith makes this a 7-0 game after the extra point, which is good. And Wyoming is up right now, as we see Wick be out for a little bit with a strained back. As Bryant takes this kickoff, he takes it out at about the goal line, sheds a tackle, and he's out to the 24. And that's where the Grizzlies will set up their first drive. We have Bryant in the backfield with rushing coming in motion. And we have a handoff to Bryant up the middle, and he has some room. Makes a move, and he has 16 yards. That's a big play from Jared Bryant. First play of the game for the Grizzlies. And that's a great way to set the tone, as now they're at about the 41-yard line, it looks like. And McConnell takes this option keeper off to the right side. He has a lot of room way past the first down marker. A gain of 23 yards, and they're officially in Wyoming territory for the first time of the game. It's McConnell with another option, keeps it, and he's out for another big gain, 17 yards that time. And new set of downs, as Grizzlies are just moving down the field at will right now with this running game. Bryant in the backfield again, rushing in motion, and Bryant takes the handoff up the middle. 6 yards. Good strong run up the middle, 2nd and 4 now. McConnell's back to pass, and they throw a screen out to Bryant, but he is stopped hard by 99. lets him go nowhere. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 8 now for the Grizzlies, as Keith is now in the backfield. So we see what the Grizzlies have drawn up here on 3rd down. McConnell rolls out right, and it looks like he's going to take off. And he runs with enough power to run through some defenders and actually get a 1st down. It's 1st and goal now for the Grizzlies. Wes Keith flanks McConnell as we get Reddick in motion, and McConnell keeps it himself. Tries to juke, and he has 3 yards. And we see the injury report for Jared Bryant. Looks like on that screen pass he got a little bit shaken up, but looks like he's back in the game now on this 2nd and goal play. Bradford comes in motion, and Bradford gets the handoff on the jet sweep, and he has nowhere to go, maybe a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and goal. See if the Grizzlies can take advantage of the good field position. They hand it up to Jackson in the middle. The fullback gets 3 yards, and that's a 4th and goal now for the Grizzlies. And they're going for it. They're not letting the kicker come out. They feel confident in trying to get this touchdown. We'll see what they do. And it's a busted play. McConnell is dropped in the backfield. He turned around to hand it off. No one was there. Had taken himself, and by that time the Cowboys defense was all over him. A great stand by the Wyoming defense as the offense was set up in their own end zone at about the 2-yard line. Ball's handed off to May. He breaks out wide to the left, breaks a tackle, and he's brought down. Jarvis Murray once again on the tackle. 2nd and 11, drops him for a 1-yard loss. As we get an I formation and motion from the Cowboys as they hand it off to the fullback Easton, and he picks up 3, and that'll make it 3rd and 8. And they're still going hurry up. I'm surprised they're not taking some time, as this is given up to May up the middle, and he's not going anywhere. 5 yards on the carry, and that's going to force a punt. And after the return, Montana State is going to take over just outside of the Wyoming 30, as McConnell takes the option once again, runs over a defender and runs through another tackle, and he has 10 yards, and that's another 1st down. 62 yards already for McConnell on the day, as he's back and throws it out, a screen pass out to the right to Henderson, and he's not going anywhere. No gain on the play, as we get a 2nd and 10 now. Just under 40 seconds left in the 1st quarter. McConnell over the middle to a wide open Harden. Bounces off a defender and tackled just shy of the goal line. A 20-yard gain to the senior, Jarrett Harden. Nick McConnell, recognizing the blitz, gets it out quick. Great job all around by the Grizzlies on that play. And we have a 1st and goal here at about the 1 or 2 yard line, and we'll see if they can make amends as Keith runs it up the middle and gets in easily for the touchdown. And that's going to tie this game up at 7 as we have 1 second left as Wyoming starts this drive at about their own 20. Smith scrambles around, throws it out deep, and Arrington almost comes down with an interception but deflects it. And that will end the 1st half, and we have a tie ball game here in Wyoming. And that'll take us to a studio update as we see number 12 LSU is victorious over number 23 ranked Tennessee, a big SEC matchup. And Wyoming will start this 2nd quarter at about their own 20-yard line, 2nd and 10. As we get motion, is there in the Wildcat. May takes it himself, stutter steps, and he has a 1st down. A gain of 12 by DJ May, the running back, out of the Wildcat formation. And they're going to go hurry up again. We get another motion again as May takes it himself again, and Arrington's not let him go anywhere. Wraps his legs up, and he only gets 2 on the play. So now we have a 2nd and 8. A few seconds run off the clock as the Cowboys are utilizing the hurry up as we get motion. And May fakes the handoff again, and he just runs through Jarvis Murray. But he doesn't get much, only 5 yards, and I'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Still in the Wildcat is Wyoming. As May takes it, he has nowhere to go. DeLuca made sure of that, as looks like the Grizzlies brought pressure on 3rd down, and that's going to force a punt. And after the return, the Grizzlies are going to take over in good field position at about their own 38, it looks like. And they come out in a Wildcat formation of their own with Hodges, the converted quarterback, in the backfield as he hands the ball off to Keith. He's looking for the edge, and he has it. And he picks up 11 yards. Lilly comes out to start this drive at quarterback in the full house formation. Keith, Jackson, and Bryant behind him as we get an option, and Lilly not able to pitch it off as he gets no gain, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Grizzlies. Bryant flanks Lilly in the backfield as Lilly's back to pass. Those are short to Bradford over the middle. his first catch of the day, 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 2. And Bryant takes the handoff up the middle, spins off a tackle, and he has 5 yards, and that's a first down. Jared Bryant, 3 for 27 on the day, a very good average for him starting out. We knew he was probably going to be a big part of this offense today, and he's definitely showing it as Lilly runs play action, throws it over the middle to Rushing, and he has a first down. Rushing's first catch of the game. He didn't get very involved last week, but looks like they're trying to make a point of getting every one of their playmakers involved today. So we have 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies. Lilly throws out left to Harden, trying to fight off 3 tacklers, and he can't do it, but he has an 8-yard gain, and that's his second catch of the day. A 2nd and 2 now, as the Grizzlies are deep in Wyoming territory. As Lilly runs the option, he keeps it himself, and he only picks up a yard. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1 now. Grizzlies are in the pistol. And Bryant takes a handoff, and he has nowhere to go. Patrick Mertens able to just blow past his blocker, get in the backfield, disrupt the play, and that's a 4th and 4. And the Grizzlies are going to go for it, surprisingly. They feel confident of getting this conversion. We'll see what the offensive coordinator, D. Hunter, has drawn up here. As Lilly's making some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Lilly's back to pass, throws it out short to Henderson. He takes a huge hit, but he's able to hold on to the ball. His second catch of the day, but his first for positive yardage, as he picks up 12 on the play, and that's a 1st and 10 just outside the 10. As Lilly takes this himself on the option, pitches out to wide to Henderson, and he's all alone. He dives in for the touchdown. Touchdown Grizzlies. LaShawn Henderson, great play call by the offensive coordinator there, as the Montana State Grizzlies go up 14-7 with 3 minutes left in the first half. And Wyoming's going to start this drive at their own 35. 3:10 left in the first half. We'll see if they can respond to Montana State's touchdown. Smith in the backfield. He throws it too far in front of his receiver. Looks like Mooney did a good job of jamming his guy off the line, as that brings up a 2nd and 10 now for the Cowboys. Smith throws it out to the left on a bubble screen, and that's incomplete. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Cowboys, trying to make this conversion. As the Grizzlies like to show them pressure, and they send the blitz. And Goodman is in there to break up the pass. That's incomplete. And it'll force them to punt. And the Grizzlies will start this drive very close to midfield. Bryant in the backfield. Lilly still at quarterback under center. Drops back to pass, and he throws out to the left to Henderson. And once again, Henderson makes a catch for no gain. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Jared Bryant in the backfield behind Lilly. Lilly is back to pass, and he scrambles back, and he has nowhere to go. Sacked for 13-yard loss on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 22, and we'll see what the Grizzlies pull out of the playbook here. Lilly tries to call him off sides. Throws it out deep to Rushing, but he can't come down with it. That'll bring up a 4th and 22. And we see this offensive production so far from the Cowboys, as Smith has doubled his production of the rest of the team as they start this next drive at about their own 25-yard line. We'll see if they can get into the end zone with just over 2 minutes left, as they give this one to Wick on the delay, and he's going nowhere. Only a 1-yard gain on the play. And the Cowboys will take their first timeout of the half. So now it's 2nd and 9, empty formation with 4 wide on the left side. As Smith takes a shotgun snap, and it's a quarterback draw, and he has nowhere to go. Only a gain of 1 or 2 on the play. And the clock's still running down, 1:50 left in the half, as the Cowboys go hurry up. They switch formation, 4 wide on the right side this time, as Smith gets pressured, and he has nowhere to go, so he just throws this one away. And that brings up a 4th and 7, and Montana State will take over just shy of the 50-yard line, trying to score before half with just over a minute left. McConnell takes a shotgun snap, throws it out quick to the right to Hodges, who breaks a tackle, but he's bounced out of bounds. 8-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 2. McConnell throws it short to the right to Rushing. He can't break the tackle, but he has 12 yards. That's Rushing's second of the day for 22 yards. 175 total yards for the Montana State Grizzlies offense, as this one is launched deep to Henderson, but it's out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. 50 seconds left. So 2nd and 10. McConnell back, play action. We get pressure as he throws this over the middle to Bradford, but it's lofted up, and Bradford can't hang on to it. Broken up by number 34. We get a 3rd and 10 now. Both backs in the backfield, Keith and Bryant, as this is a screen to Bryant. He makes a move, breaks a tackle, But he can't get much further. Only a 6-yard gain, and that's a 4th and 4. And it looks like Montana State's going to try and go for this one instead of electing to kick the field goal with 20 seconds left in the half. McConnell's back. He rolls out right. He has an open man, Hodges. Looks like he's going to get tackled, but he powers ahead to get the first down. A 6-yard gain by Manny Hodges, his second catch of the day for 14 yards. And now 10 seconds left, 1st and 10. We'll see what the Grizzlies can do, as this one is thrown out to Henderson just in time, just gets the play off before he gets tackled. And Montana State will take their last time out of the half as they now send the field goal unit on. And the kick is up and good as they extend their lead going into the half, 17-7 over the home team Wyoming Cowboys today. We'll see if Montana State can keep pouring this on as we go to a studio update at the half. Number 6 Texas A&M is over Arkansas right now in the third quarter, 28-24. And we'll see if they can hold on to win that game. As we see our halftime stats, and the big factor in this game has been time of possession. Wyoming's hurry-up offense hasn't been doing anything for them as they can't get anything going. We'll see if any of that changes. As we're here in the second half, Wyoming kicking off to the Grizzlies. Bryant takes this at about the 5-yard line. Up the middle, he has a bit of a hole, but he stopped, 27-yard return, and that's where the Grizzlies will take over at about the 32-yard line. As McConnell starts this quarter as the quarterback, and he backs up the pass, throws it out hard, and then that's complete. He has 8 yards, and Nick McConnell today is 9 for 11 for 67 yards. Pretty efficient day so far for him as Brian takes this one off tackle, and he has some space. He finds the edge, and that puts Montana State up over 100 yards rushing today. They wanted to rely on their run game today, and it looks like they're doing just that as Keith checks in to the left of McConnell. McConnell's back to pass. The blitz is coming. He gets it out quick to Rushing, and that's complete. 18 yards to Ernie Rushing. His third catch, 40 yards on the day for Ernie Rushing. He's doing a pretty good job of getting separation from some of these corners, and a great job by McConnell to get that ball out before the pressure got to him. And that's a new set of downs for the Grizzlies. Wes Keith is still in the backfield of McConnell as we get Henderson in motion, and Henderson gets the handoff. He's looking for the edge, but he cuts up field, and he's tackled after a 7-yard gain. We get Bradford in motion this time, and he gets the play action. McConnell throws off his back foot, and Bryant somehow makes an amazing catch coming back to the ball. He could do it all. He can run and he can catch. Hell, maybe we'll see him throw the ball in a later game, but right now it's 1st and 10, just outside of the 10 as Bryant takes this handoff and he runs up the middle, and he's down to about the 4-yard line, a gain of 7. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Grizzlies as they're looking to add on to this lead they already have. As Bryant takes it, and he's tackled in the backfield, but we have a flag on the play. And it looks like that's a holding on the Grizzlies. And that's going to back them up. Devin Chapman, guilty party. And that'll make it a 2nd and 13 instead. Wes Keith checks in, and McConnell changes the play, and the offensive line just completely swaps sides as McConnell takes a snap, and he has the option. He's making some moves, and he's down out to about the 1-yard line. Gets a first down, but doesn't get the touchdown. And they're just going to try and pop this one in. They come out in a heavy formation. Jackson in the backfield, Wes Keith behind him. They give the ball to Keith, but Keith doesn't have anywhere to go. So we have a 2nd and goal now. Bryant in the backfield now as they hand this one off to Jackson, and the fullback, of course, gets in. 1-yard touchdown run for Adrian Jackson. When in doubt, give it to Adrian. As we jump to a studio update, number 8 South Carolina is in danger of dropping to UCF 24-17 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And the score is now 24-7 Montana State over Wyoming as the Cowboys start this drive. 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and Smith takes a snap. Throws it out to the left, but that is overthrown. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 as Wick flanks Smith on the left side. And he drops back to pass. And that's over the middle to Ruffin, and he catches it. A 9-yard gain. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1 as Wyoming goes back to the hurry-up offense. Smith hands it off to Wick up the middle. Wick reverses direction. A great job by Wick to redirect from the hole that closed up to find another way, and he picks up the first down. As Wyoming still with the hurry-up. Seems that hasn't been a great thing for them today as Wick takes the ball again, and he's going nowhere. Dropped in the backfield, -1 yard on the play. And a 2nd and 11. As Smith tries to draw him offside, Wick takes the ball, and he's going nowhere again. Rudy Norwood trips him up, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 12. Smith draws back the pass, throws it to the middle to Wick, and that's out. It's a fumble. Murray scoops it up, tries to hurdle, and he is upended. And that's the first turnover of the game. Bobby Doucette with the hard hit. I don't know if it was a hard hit. He just caught Wick off guard, got his hand in there, punched the ball out, and Murray was there really quick to scoop it up and try and make a play, but he gets upended. And Montana State's going to start this drive deep in Cowboys territory at about their 34 as Bryant's in the backfield in the I formation. McConnell making adjustments, and Bryant stiff arms, and he picks up 4 yards on that play. 2nd and 6 now as we see Wick is out for a little bit. Got a little bit shaken up on that hit by Bobby Doucette, it seems. As McConnell, play action, throws a screen out to Rushing, and he has a 1st down. 9 yards by Ernie Rushing. Gives him 49 on the day, and that's a 1st down. McConnell still in at quarterback. Jots back to pass once more. He has a lot of time. He rolls out right. Can't really find anyone. Just ducks it and runs, and he steps out of bounds. 82 yards today on the ground for Nick McConnell. As we have a 2nd and 3 now. Throws a screen to the left to Henderson, and he has nowhere to go. The corner was right there, not allowing anything to happen, as that was Henderson's 5th catch for only 21 yards, and that brings up a 3rd and 5. McConnell under center now, drops back to pass as pressure is sent by the Cowboys, and that one's incomplete. Marqueston Huff knocks that one away, and it's 4th and 5 now. And with a bit of a lead, the Grizzlies elect to finally kick a field goal, and it's up and it's good, and that makes it 27-7. The Grizzlies up over Wyoming with 2:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Wyoming comes out at about their own 23 to start this drive. In the shotgun is Smith. He takes a snap, throws it out short to the left to Wick, and he can't hold on to it. Maybe he heard Bobby Doucette's footsteps. He was getting flashbacks of that big hit earlier that caused the fumble, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Smith back to pass. He throws it out to the right to Norman. He shrugs off a tackler, and he has 7 yards, knocked out of bounds, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Cowboys as they go hurry up once again. And Smith takes a shotgun snap, pressure sent by the Grizzlies, and the receiver can't hang on to it, and that'll bring up a 4th and 3, and Wyoming's punt team comes onto the field. As Fellows is back to return this kick. He sees a lot of space on the right side. He's trying to get to the edge, and he does. He has one guy to beat, but he's tackled out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. And Lily's going to take over this drive as we get a penalty, it looks like. A false start on the Grizzlies, and they'll have a 1st and 15 now. 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Lilly takes this one himself. Takes a bit of a hit, but he has 9-yard pickup on the gain. It's 2nd and 6 now. Lilly in the back, Jared Bryant behind him. Lilly with another option, and this time, learning from his mistake, he slides down. 1st and 10 for Andre Lilly. Coming out in the gun with Jared Bryant to the left of him. Lilly back to pass, and that's nearly intercepted. Looks like Harden was his intended target, but luckily that one's just dropped. 2nd and 10 now for the Grizzlies. Cowboys send pressure, and Lilly gets this one out really quick to Bradford, and a good job by Lilly to recognize the blitz, get the ball out quick to an open receiver, and that gives him a 1st down just outside the 10 as Bryant takes this handoff, bounces it out to the right side, and he has 4 yards. And that brings up a 2nd and 6. Just under a minute left as this one's over the middle to Henderson. He's in for a touchdown. LaShawn Henderson, 7-yard touchdown reception. It takes a big hit after he makes the catch. But our mascot is loving it, and I heard a suggestion of Clark Griswold. If any of you are familiar with the National Lampoons, Clark Griswold was the main character, and I'm very partial to that, so I think we'll stick with that as we see a studio update as Texas A&M is able to hold on to the lead 38-33, your final in that game. And Wyoming starts this drive. 51 seconds left with Montana State up 34-7. Smith takes a shotgun snap, throws it right to Doucette, who I don't know if he was expecting that, but it hit him right in the chest, and that incompletion will bring up a 2nd and 10. As we get an empty formation, 4 wide out to the left side. Smith takes a shotgun snap, throws it out deep on the left side, and Rooney's able to make a good play, deflects that one. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 now for the Cowboys. They throw it out to the left on a screen, and Doucette is there once again to make the stop on Sean Wick. A great job by Bobby Doucette to force a 4th down. The Cowboys will punt this away as Fellows takes it off the left side, and he has a lot of space. And a great spin move by Fellows as he gets out about the 32-yard line of the Cowboys as Henderson's in motion. And he's not able to get anything on the play, as that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. As Montana State is up 34-7, and Wyoming's going to need to really make some changes if they want to pull out of this one with a home win. And Montana State will start this 4th quarter, continuing their drive. 2nd and 10 now. Lilly in the ball game. Bryant has the ball up the middle, and he has 9 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1 as we see 350 total yards already by Montana State on the day. As Lilly has the option, he pitches it out to Bryant, who makes a man miss, and he picks up a 1st down, and he has 69 yards on the day. Nice. 1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line. Keith in the backfield. Lilly takes the option himself, and he's going nowhere. Looks like the Cowboys sent pressure from the outside corner that time and snuffed out the option. And that brings up 2nd and 14 now. Lilly's making changes to the play at the line. Just under 7 minutes left. Play action from Lilly over the middle, intended for Garen Patrick, but that one's knocked harmlessly to the turf. Lilly is 7 of 10 for today. Pretty efficient, but he's had a couple passes that are nearly picked off, as this one was thrown to a screen to Henderson, and he looks like he's in for a touchdown, but they call him down at the 1. I don't know. It looks like they have the perfect play call as the Cowboys sent blitz and no one was there to back up the play. And it looks like Henderson got in, and we might see a challenge from Coach Shambo as we do. And it looks like he's going to challenge that was a touchdown, as we'll see some of these replays. His knee does touch down, it looks like, but it also looks like the football is over the goal line. You know, I'd love to hear some of your opinions, but to me, that looks like a touchdown. And it looks like the play stands. He's down just inside the 1. And I think the Grizzlies are just going to try and punch this in as they pitch it out to Keith to the left side, and he's in for a touchdown. As the Grizzlies just running away with this one, as it's 41-7 as Wyoming takes over possession at their own 17-yard line. Smith back to pass, throws it out to the left to Claiborne. He tight ropes the sideline. He has a 1st down. And that'll bring up a 1st and 10, and they're still going hurry up. I don't know why they haven't switched anything, but this has been a detriment to them all game, as Smith is looking for a hole to try and run, but he's gobbled up in the backfield. Elliott Hardy there with the 1st sack of the game. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 12 as we have Wick in the backfield to the right of Smith. And Wick takes the handoff. And he has nowhere to go. Rudy Norwood is there for the tackle to drop him in the backfield. 3rd and 14 now for the Cowboys. We'll see what they draw up here. Smith is back to pass, throws it out deep to the right on the corner, and that's completed. 22 yards just when they needed it. Big play by Brett Smith to Jalen Claiborne to bail them out. As we'll see what they have going on here on this 1st and 10, as that one thrown to Heron, and he has room and he can outrun some people as Murray finally takes him down, and that's another big gain, 25 yards. And the Cowboys are driving right now. 1st and 10 at about the 25-yard line of the Grizzlies. And we get motion from the Cowboys. And Smith changes the play. Smith a lot of time in the backfield. Throws it out short to Claiborne on the right side. That looks like Alfred Kent making the stop. Claiborne has 4 catches for 52 yards on the day. It's 2nd and 6 with 5 minutes left in the game. Smith throws it out short to the right to Claiborne. And that's another 1st down. Another 10-yard pickup. They're doing a good job. Why couldn't they do this all game? So we get motion from Wick as Smith takes the option, and he's tackled by Randall Arrington after a 5-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd down for the Cowboys inside of the 10. And Wick takes this handoff, but Kingsley Simpson just allows him to go nowhere. Good job by this defensive tackle, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 8 as the Cowboys are only 2 for 9 on the day with 3rd down conversions. So we'll see what they draw up here. The Grizzlies send 4. They swing it out to May. An amazing play by Lance Burley, the defensive tackle, to sniff that out and chase down the running back coming out of the backfield, and on 4th and 1, the Cowboys are going to go for it. They hand the ball off to May, and he has nowhere to go. Elliott Hardy coming up with the big stop, turnover on downs, and the Grizzlies are going to take over and shatter their own end zone at about the 5-yard line. As McConnell's in the game, Bryant in the backfield. Bryant has a little bit of a hole, picks up a couple yards. Just under 3:30 left in the game, and a 2nd and 8. Wes Keith has the handoff, but he has nowhere to go, and that'll be a 3rd and 8. McConnell back to pass on the right side, throws it out to Rushing. He has a lot of space. Can he get free? He can't break the tackle, but a 55-yard gain, and one of the biggest gains this season for the whole Grizzlies team. Great job by Rushing to get separation, and a great job by McConnell to be able to get the ball to him. That gives them their 23rd first down of the game, compared to the Cowboys' 10. Wes Keith takes this one up the middle. And that brings up second with just over 2 minutes left in the game. Montana State 41-7 looks to be in good position as McConnell takes this option himself, and he picks up 6 yards, and that's a new set of downs. And 2 minutes left now. McConnell trying to draw them off sides, hands the ball off to Keith. Keith bounces it out to the right, and he has some space, and he's tripped up after a 15-yard gain, and that gives him a respectable 5.3 yards a carry on the day. And 1:45 left in the game, 1st and 10. McConnell hands the ball off to Vogel, who's getting his first carry of the game, the 3rd-string running back. 2 yards on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Bryant in the backfield in the pistol formation. He's off to the right side. He breaks through, and he goes out of bounds instead of scoring a touchdown. Clock stops with 1:14 left, as the Grizzlies are just going to knee this down and let some clock run. Wyoming has 3 timeouts, but with the score like this, I don't expect them to stop any of this, and if my math is correct, this may be the final kneel down, and that'll probably end our game. And it does, with 30 seconds left on the game clock and 38 left on the play clock. And that will end it here in Wyoming as Montana State dominates the Cowboys to the tune of 41-7 on the back of a great defensive performance and a solid rushing day. We had pretty good field position most of the day thanks to the defense causing them to punt 6 times to our 1. We had 236 yards on the ground compared to the Cowboys' 69. Nice. We came into this game wanting to rely on the run game, and it paid off big time. And it also helped that Wyoming's hurry-up offense allowed us to double their time of possession and let us run 71 plays to their 46. Individually, our offensive strategy worked well today. Neither quarterback really set themselves apart, so I think giving them the opportunity to both play gives us the best chance to win some ball games. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section if you're in favor of the dual quarterback strategy. Bryant, McConnell, and Keith all had big days on the ground. We have a lot of athleticism in the backfield with those 3, including Lilly. And the option-based offense we ran today gives us a good opportunity to get everyone involved, including our wide receivers who didn't really have huge games. Rushing was able to come close to 100 yards on the day after his long 45, but our downfield threat is limited by the 75 rated arm strength of both of our quarterbacks. Terry, the right tackle, gave up a sack, which is becoming pretty common. And we had a huge day defensively, only allowing 7 points. Jarvis Murray, the junior safety, led the charge with 9 tackles, and we had our 2 ends, Norwood and Hardy, getting 3 tackles for loss, with the latter making the only sack of the day. No interceptions, but we did have a big forced fumble by Doucette, who was making plays all over the field today, breaking up passes and just being a force in the middle of the field that the offense had to account for all day. Thorne actually attempted a couple field goals that were close, but chose to go for it on 4th down a lot today inside of his field goal range, and that's also the reason why we only had to punt once. The return game was pretty solid. Fellows had a good punt returns that I showed you, but nothing too spectacular. And the win today puts the Grizzlies at the top of the division, tied with Air Force at 3-1, and the Cowboys today dropped to 2-3 on the season. As we see the Mountain West as a whole, where we're ranked 2nd because of our 2-0 conference record behind the 4-0 overall Fresno State, who are 3-0 in the conference. I'm changing up the format a little bit this week. Let me know in the comments if you want to keep seeing the weekly recap of the top 25 players of the week, season stats, and Heisman watch at the end of the episodes. I'm not including that this week, but are you guys interested in seeing this stuff at the end of the week that gives a bit more in-depth view of the whole college scene? or do y'all think it's unnecessary and we can add that and go over that in the off season or end of the year videos? But let me know what you guys think. I appreciate your input as we look forward to next week when we take on the Wisconsin Badgers on their turf. It's not going to be as easy as this past game, as they're ranked 19th coming into week 6, and it looks like they have a good rush offense and defense. So I'm expecting a challenge ahead of us, and we may have to get creative with our play calling. And with that, D the Toy Hunter, I'll show you some options for your coach. Watching a few of your videos, EA Sports didn't really include many models with a lighter complexion, so flipping through these, let me know if you prefer another over what I have set up for you, and if you'd like the alma mater age, offensive, defensive styles changed, I can make that happen. And if anyone's stuck around this long, I appreciate you, and I'd still like to have a subscribe as a defensive coordinator, so volunteer in the comments section, and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when a new video comes out. And I love you all, and I hope I see you all next week as we take on Wisconsin. Goodbye.